Hello, YouTube. This is the Archetype Godo, bringing you a small tutorial video about Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones. This video is going to prove to you why so many people think that Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones is the easiest game in the Fire Emblem series. Every Fire Emblem game that has been produced so far uses what they call the random number generator, or the RNG, which is what I'm going to refer to it as, in order to determine the outcomes of certain experiences that you go through. In levels, you have the RNG, which can decide where your character moves after you've selected a destination if there are objects in the way. The RNG determines your hit percentages and your growth stats when you achieve enough experience to level up, and a couple other things that I'm not going to go into in this video. But that theme is common for every Fire Emblem game, and every Fire Emblem player knows that the RNG likes to screw you. Very rarely do you achieve really good level ups as often as you want them to. Personally, I have had several times where I play through the game where I get nothing more than luck to go up. No HP, no strength, no magic, nothing but luck. And in my experience, luck doesn't do very much in-game for you, except for decrease your chance of getting critically hit. So naturally, a single luck point increasing is not very helpful. So what I'm going to show you is a way you can achieve nearly perfect level ups every single time after you've reached a certain point in the game. I love summoners, that is just so cool. Alright, sorry, but I'm going to skip the Manakete presentation. This is a way you can achieve nearly perfect level ups every single time. What I have just finished is the start a new path thing that happens right after chapter 8, and I chose to go with Ephraim because he's my favorite of the two lords. But this right here is critical. The Tower of Valny is now available on the world map. I don't really particularly care about the rest of it, so I'm just going to skip the text for now. Alright, what you just saw is a monster show up on the map right here. This is an Entombed in the Zaha Woods area. And another important thing to note is the Tower of Valny, which I said before, which is now on the map. Using these two places, I'm going to show you how you can achieve nearly perfect level ups every time. Okay, you'll notice now that the Entombed is gone. I just dispatched it via a skirmish, and the bit that I wanted to get accomplished in that was this right here. My monk Artur now has experience at 93, which means that he's very probably going to level up no matter what he hits next, which is good. Okay, so the level that we need right now first is the Tower of Valny. This is the first floor of the Tower of Valny, and for now, this is all we need. What I'm going to do is just go into the Tower of Valny and hit start to go straight into the skirmish, and then immediately retreat. You can be prompted to save the game, go ahead and do so. And then do what's called a soft reset. You're going to hit the start button and the select button, and the A and the B. It's going to send you back out to the title screen. I'm going to go ahead and restart chapter. And now you've started on the Tower of Valny. That is an important step, because now when we go into the tower, we have a very specific level and a very specific setup which is required for this method. Okay, now, we go ahead and hit start. You'll see this type of setup where the monsters appear to be balanced on left and right. Every enemy is one of these, this class, except for, of course, the boss Entombed, and this guy. This guy is key as an indicator that you're on the right level. If you scroll over to his items, you can see that he has a droppable rune sword. If you want to, you can spam this guy and get a whole bunch of those rune swords and sell off for money, which is important if you're going to be doing this method several times, because your weapons might break. But what you want to do, once you have achieved this level particularly, is select any character at all. I like using Ephraim. Go around in this pattern or one similar to it, and then go one spot past his movement range. Because your character can't move in that exact path because they have limited number of spaces, the random number generator will dictate he either goes through the night and then to that spot where you selected like he did now, or straight down and then left to get to that same spot. That is how the random number generator can determine how you move throughout the map. What we've just done is wasted one random number. Now, I'm going to retreat again, and this time I'm not going to save, but at the first spot where a entombed appeared the first time you saw, there is now a Baal. That is important. We wasted exactly one random number in the Tower of Valny so we could get this guy to appear on this spot. Because this game depends so heavily on the random number generator, this will be exactly the same for everybody every time, in every version of the game. So what I'm going to do for formation real quick, actually looks like everything is set up pretty well. What I want to have, for my purposes here, is Garcia on this spot. You can see his speed is 7, so he's not going to be able to double attack the unit who spawns here. And then I've got Artur right here, with experience close enough to attack a unit who will be spawning right around here. That's important. So go ahead and save once you've got a setup similar to this. Start the match. And then immediately do another soft reset. Sorry about that, my finger got in the way of the camera. Because you did a soft reset, you're going to be allowed to restart the chapter, which you should do. Once you've restarted the chapter and gone back into it, you'll see that the units on the enemy side have changed. This is now a Bone Walker, this is now a Revenant, and there's a Revenant down here now. They were not there before. So like I said before, Garcia's speed is 7. That means he will not double attack this guy right here. But at the same time, he won't be double attacked. So I'm going to go ahead and have him attack the Bone Walker. Bone Walker is going to attack him back, and he's going to get hit. If Garcia does not get hit right here, you've known you've done something wrong. That or the numbers will be messed up. But then what I want to do is have Artur come over here, pretty much straight over and straight down. The reason I did that is the same reason you saw in the Tower of Valmy. If he goes over the woods, his movement is going to be affected, and the random number generator will use a random number to dictate the most efficient path to that spot right here that he's at. I don't want that to happen because it will waste a random number and screw up his level up. But what I wanted to do is attack with lightning. He's going to get one normal hit. He's going to dodge this. And then he's going to get a crit. And that monster just saw the light of heaven destroy his face. Artur gets a level up, and you will see everything go up except for his resistance. This is possible because the random number generator has a set value of numbers that were smaller than his growth rates, and so his stats went up. This is actually a pretty important level up for Artur because as a monk, his defense rating is pretty low, so it's not going to go up very often. As proof that it wasn't a fluke, I'm going to prove it to you again. All I did before was went into Tower of Valny, killed a few guys to get him up to a point where he could probably level up again. Attack, miss, crit, level up, and once again, everything except for resistance goes up. And again. Level up. Pew, 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 pew. I know you've got it by now, but I figured I'd just show you my progress as I go along. I'm actually approaching a very critical level, which you'll see next. A second ago I said something important was coming up, and this is what I meant. For me, anyway. Your levels might have been different from mine starting out, but I've got my monk up to level 6, and now he is on his own almost strong enough, I guess here we go, almost strong enough to take out this thing on its own. Now, what you'll notice though, is I'm at level 6, And my resistance is at 6, which means that if I do that version of the level up one more time, his defense could potentially hit 20 by the end of his levels, but who wants a purely physical monk with only 6 resistance? That just doesn't make sense in terms of this game, because you usually have magical units fight magical units because they have resistance enough to defend against other magical units. And so I have to change the level up somehow in order to get my monk to have resistance going up as well. So what we're going to do this time, Gilliam is a little bit slower than Garcia, but even so, he has his javelin. I'm going to have him attack this monster at range and kill it. It's important that Gilliam does not level up after that exchange. Artur is going to then come over here and attack this guy, also at range. Due to the way the RNG works out for me this time, you're going to see everything go up just the same as before, only this time his resistance goes up. I suppose if you wanted to, you could have done that every single time, but then you would have a monk whose defense was 2 at the end of all this grinding, and now his defense is at 6. So after that last level up, you will find that Artur is now strong enough to kill a monster on his own. So I'm going to go back to Garcia, have come over here, single attack this guy, get hit once again. But now, because that was one attack, it is essentially the same to the random number generator in terms of Gilliam using the javelin. So attack from Gilliam, and then attack from Ross and then, Garcia, and then the enemy is essentially the same thing. So now Artur can come over here and double attack this idiot. He dies, Artur levels up, and we get the same level up as we just had. Everything except defense goes up. And I hope this helps you with your future playthroughs of Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. This has been Archetype Godo, signing off.